Welcome to the channel Rare Coins New Mix. Today we're talking about the top 5 rare US 1-dime coins that you need to know about. These coins are more than just pocket change. Stick around till the end for the big reveal, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out on our future videos about rare coins. Let's dive right in. The story of the 1978 1-dime coin starts long before it was minted. To truly understand the coin, we need to take a step back and look at the broader context of U.S. currency during this era. The United States, in the late 1970s, was a country undergoing significant changes, politically, socially, and economically. The 1970s marked the end of a turbulent decade, with the country recovering from the Vietnam War, experiencing high inflation rates, and undergoing various changes in leadership. The country was also witnessing a shift in the world of coinage. For the dime specifically, the year 1978 was not just another year in the long history of U.S. currency. It represented a period of transition, not only for the nation but for its coins. While most of us are familiar with the dime for its small size and silver color, the 1-dime coin actually has a history that spans well over a century. The design on the reverse of the coin, which features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, had remained largely unchanged since the 1940 SAT the time. The minting of dimes was critical to the U.S. economy, as these coins circulated widely in daily transactions. Dimes were often seen as convenient and reliable, making them an essential part of the monetary system. However, when we look at the specifics of the 1978 dime, we need to acknowledge that it wasn't just about circulation, it was about its place in history. The coin was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint was beginning to focus more on coin production efficiency and cost-effectiveness. By 1978, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned away from using silver in most of its circulating coins. The 1960s had seen the gradual phasing out of silver in favor of less expensive metals like copper and nickel, a move driven by rising silver prices and the economic pressures of the time. At end 1978, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these dimes. They were struck in a copper-nickel composition, a change that had occurred back in 1965, following the dramatic rise in the price of silver. While the 1978 dime didn't have the same intrinsic value as earlier silver dimes, it still played an important role in day-to-day transactions. Let's now turn to the design of the 1978 dime, which is an important aspect of its legacy. As you may know, the dime is smaller in size than many other coins, but its design packs a punch. The obverse of the coin features the bust of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image on the dime has become iconic, and it's almost impossible to think of the dime without picturing his face. Roosevelt was chosen for this design in 1946, just after his death, as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse of the 1978 dime, which remains consistent from previous years, displays a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These symbols have long represented peace, unity, and strength, respectively. The torch stands for liberty, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch represents strength and independence. This imagery creates a connection between the coin and the ideals the United States holds dear. But the 1978 dime wasn't just another coin to be used in everyday transactions. Over time, the value of this dime would take on an entirely different meaning for collectors and numismatists. At the time of its minting, the coin was valued at its face value, 10 cents, but little did people know that this coin would evolve into a collector's item over the years. In the world of coin collecting, a certain number of factors can influence a coin's value. Rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance all play a role in determining how much a coin will fetch on the market. For the 1978 dime, it would take several years for collectors to begin to recognize the potential value of certain specimens. Coin collectors often seek out coins in perfect condition, ones that have been well preserved over the years, free from wear and tear. These uncirculated coins, as they are called, can be worth much more than their face value, depending on how many are available. For the 1978 dime, the key factor influencing its value was its limited supply in uncirculated condition. While millions of these coins were minted, not all of them survived the harsh conditions of circulation in pristine form. Additionally, certain minting errors or variations in the design can make a coin more valuable. Coins with slight misprints, off-center strikes, or other defects can be highly sought after by collectors. The 1978 dime, however, was relatively free from such errors, which meant that collectors had to be discerning and pay attention to the condition of the coins they found. Fast forward to today, and the value of a 1978 USA 1 dime has evolved in ways that would have been hard to predict when it was first released. In today's market, the 1978 dime is no longer just a 10-cent piece of currency. For collectors, it has become an item of great interest, particularly those rare specimens that are in pristine, uncirculated condition. What's even more exciting is the fact that certain 1978 dimes have been known to fetch astronomical prices, far exceeding their face value. The ultimate price for a 1978 dime, a jaw-dropping $117,000. Yes, you read that correctly. A 1978 dime, once worth only 10 cents, is now worth a staggering amount thanks to its rarity, condition, and demand among collectors. The coin has become a treasure, not only for its historical significance but for the story it tells about the evolution of U.S. currency and the fascinating world of numismatics. So how does a 1978 dime reach such a remarkable value? It's all about rarity and condition. Dimes that have been well preserved, free from the usual signs of wear and tear, and with a perfect strike are incredibly rare. This makes them highly coveted by collectors. Moreover, as time goes on, fewer of these coins are available in top condition, which drives up the price even more. This incredible price tag is a testament to the enduring value of coins, even those that were once thought to be relatively common. It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, and sometimes, the most unexpected treasures can be found in the most unlikely places. The 1978 one-dime coin is a perfect example of how history, design, and rarity can all come together to create something much more valuable than meets the eye. From a simple, everyday piece of currency to a prized collectible worth over $100,000, the 1978 dime's journey is nothing short of remarkable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with an interest in coins, the 1978 USA 1 dime offers a fascinating glimpse into the world of numismatics and the hidden treasures that can be found in the coins we often take for granted. And who knows, maybe you'll stumble upon one of these rare coins in your own pocket change, forever changing your perspective on what makes a coin truly valuable. The year is 1990, a time of change and progress in the United States, both politically and socially. While the world witnessed major events like the reunification of Germany, the end of the Cold War, and the rise of the Internet, there was something much smaller, yet still very significant, happening right beneath the noses of the American public. The minting of the 1990 USA 1 dime coin. This seemingly simple, tiny coin, which many people probably overlooked as they shuffled through their change, was destined to become an object of fascination for numismatists and collectors alike. Today, we're diving deep into the history, design, and most interestingly, the incredible value of this small piece of American currency. Let's start with a bit of history to set the stage. The US dime, first introduced in 1796, has seen its fair share of design changes throughout the years. By 1990, the coin had evolved significantly, from the iconic Liberty head design of the 19th century to the more modern imagery of Franklin D. Roosevelt, which had been featured on the dime since 1946. This year, 1990, marked a continuation of the Roosevelt dime series, which would remain in place for decades to come. For many, the dime is just a dime. It's often seen as a filler coin in our pockets, overshadowed by its larger cousins, the quarter, the half-dollar, or the dollar coin. But the 1990 dime, much like other coins of its era, has a fascinating backstory that begins well before it even reaches the hands of everyday Americans. The minting of the 1990 dime took place at the U.S. Mint's facilities, which included the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These mints have a long and storied history of producing coins that are not just used for daily transactions but are also the cornerstone of collections that span generations. The 1990 dime was struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, which is common for dimes produced from 1965 to present. Each coin had a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a weight of 2.27 grams, small, but mighty in significance. However, the real story begins with its design. The obverse, or front, of the 1990 dime features the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was chosen as the coin subject due to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. His image was first introduced on the dime in 1946, just a year after his passing, and it has remained ever since. The design was created by John R. Sinnock, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver, and it stands as a symbol of Roosevelt's legacy and the nation's strength. On the reverse side of the 1990 dime, we find the familiar design of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. This symbol, representing liberty, peace, and strength, was also designed by Sinnock and has appeared on the Roosevelt dime since its inception. The torch represents freedom, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch signifies strength, three qualities that have long been associated with the American spirit. At first glance, the 1990 dime may seem like just another entry in the long-running Roosevelt series, but for collectors, there's something particularly unique about this specific coin. Like many coins, some variations, errors, and quirks made certain pieces from 1990 stand out. These small details are what often drive the value of coins higher, and the 1990 dime is no exception. Now, let's talk about the minting process for a moment. Each year, the U.S. Mint produces billions of coins, including dimes. However, not all coins are made equally. Some coins are minted in larger quantities, and others in smaller batches. The 1990 dime was minted in massive numbers. Over 1.5 billion dimes were produced across the Philadelphia and Denver mints combined. The sheer volume of coins created means that most 1990 dimes are relatively common and can be found without much difficulty. But here's where it gets interesting. While most 1990 dimes are not particularly valuable, certain rare and special versions of the coin have been discovered over the years. Some of these coins might have been struck with errors like double dies, die cracks, or off-center strikes. These minting errors make the coins more appealing to collectors and can cause their value to soar. Errors are not something most people notice on their day-to-day dimes. But when collectors get their hands on these rarities, the hunt begins. One of the more well-known types of error for the 1990 dime is the double die variety. Double dies occur when the design on a coin is struck more than once, creating a noticeable duplication of the features. In the case of the 1990 dime, double die errors are most commonly found on the lettering or the date, where the numbers and letters appear slightly doubled, making the coin stand out from the rest. Finding one of these coins in your pocket change is a rare and thrilling experience for any collector. But even beyond error coins, there's something intrinsically valuable about the 1990 dime to those who cherish U.S. currency history. The dime, with its enduring design and historical significance, represents a snapshot of America at a pivotal time. The late 1980s and early 1990s were marked by economic growth and political change, and this small coin became part of the fabric of daily life during that era. As time went on, and collectors began to appreciate the rarity and the nuances of certain coins, the 1990 dime, especially those with unique characteristics or errors, began to garner attention. What was once a humble coin circulating through the nation's wallets and piggy banks started to attract the interest of collectors from all over the world. And now, the big question. How much is the 1990 dime really worth? Well, as with all things related to numismatics, the value depends on a few key factors: condition, rarity, and demand. Most 1990 dimes are worth only their face value of 10 cents. However, a well-preserved, error-free coin in excellent condition might be worth slightly more. It's not until you get into the rarer variants, those with minting errors such as the double die or other imperfections, that the value really begins to climb. Now, here's the jaw-dropping revelation. One particular 1990 USA dime has sold for a staggering $96,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin, worth just 10 cents when it was first minted, fetched nearly $100,000 at auction. This isn't just any dime, of course. It's a rare error coin, one with a double die feature that caught the eye of a passionate collector. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector interest, this humble dime went on to become an extraordinary financial treasure. So, how did such an unassuming coin end up being worth so much? It all comes down to a combination of rarity, collector demand, and the intricate beauty of the errors that make certain coins stand out from the rest. Coins like this remind us that even the smallest, most overlooked items in our lives can hold immense value, waiting to be discovered in the world of numismatics. The value of coins can fluctuate, but stories like the one about the 1990 dime are a testament to the fascinating world of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, there's something undeniably thrilling about the prospect of finding a rare coin hidden in your pocket change, or the excitement that comes from tracking down a unique, valuable piece of history. As we wrap up this story, it's important to remember that every coin tells a story, whether it's a simple dime or a rare error piece worth thousands of dollars. Each coin carries a piece of history, a snapshot of the time and place in which it was created. And who knows? The next dime you find could be the next big discovery. So, always keep an eye on your pocket change. You never know what hidden treasures might be waiting for you. The world witnessed the release of some groundbreaking movies, major advances in technology, and the beginning of a new era in global politics. Meanwhile, across the United States, there was a small, often overlooked piece of American history being minted. A coin that many people might have tossed into a jar or kept at the bottom of their pockets, without any clue that it would one day become a valuable collector's item. That coin, the 1997 US 1 dime. Now, at first glance, the 1997 dime might seem like just another coin in circulation. After all, it's just a small, copper-nickel clad dime with a familiar design that's been in circulation since the mid-20th century. But as we will soon discover, this seemingly unremarkable coin carries with it a rich history, some intriguing design choices, and, believe it or not, a significant value that might surprise you. So, settle in as we embark on an exciting journey through time and explore what makes the 1997 1 dime so special. To understand the importance of the 1997 dime, we need to take a quick look at its background. The US dime, which has been part of American currency since the late 18th century, has undergone several design changes. The most significant change, at least for the past several decades, was the introduction of Franklin D. Roosevelt's image on the obverse of the coin. This iconic design first appeared in 1946, just 1 year after the president's death, and it has remained on the dime ever since. But how did this specific coin, minted in 1997, fit into the ongoing story of the Roosevelt dime series? In 1997, the U.S. Mint was in full swing, churning out dimes like many other coins, ready to go into circulation. A total of over 1 billion dimes were minted that year at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These dimes were designed to be used as everyday currency, circulating among people for simple transactions, much like the other denominations of coinage at the time. But this was also a time of economic growth in the United States, and the year marked a period of stability as well as some interesting developments in the world of coin collecting. But before we dive into the coin's current value, let's first take a closer look at its design. The 1997 dime, like its predecessors in the Roosevelt series, features the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse or front of the coin. This profile, designed by John R. Sinnock, has become one of the most recognizable and enduring images in American numismatics. Roosevelt's portrait is turned to the left, surrounded by the words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year of minting, 1997. His image was chosen for the dime due to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and his commitment to social programs such as Social Security. On the reverse side of the 1997 dime, we find the design that has been featured on the Roosevelt dime since its inception: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. The torch represents freedom, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch signifies strength. Together, these symbols reflect the core values of the United States, and they help reinforce the idea that this small coin is not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of the nation's ideals. It's important to note that the minting process of the 1997 dime followed the standard practices used by the U.S. Mint during that era. The coin was struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, which gives it its distinctive appearance. The dime's diameter measures 17.91 millimeters, and its weight is 2.27 grams. This makes the dime one of the smallest and lightest coins in circulation, easily identifiable by its size and the familiar design. Despite the fact that over 1 billion of these coins were minted, the 1997 dime began to attract the attention of collectors for a few key reasons. One of the most important aspects of coin collecting is the condition of the coin. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that are in excellent condition, coins that have retained their original luster and show little to no signs of wear and tear. The 1997 dime, like many coins from this era, was often found in high grades, especially those that were kept in uncirculated rolls or carefully stored in collections. However, even though the 1997 dime was not a particularly rare coin in terms of its overall mintage, it still held the potential for increased value in the world of numismatics. Over time, the 1997 dime, especially those in mint condition, began to gain the attention of serious collectors. But what really boosted its appeal was the potential for errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, that can make certain coins much more valuable than their face value. Coin collectors and numismatists are always on the lookout for coins with unique characteristics, such as the ones just mentioned. Errors are a big deal in the world of numismatics. A minor mistake during the minting process can lead to a rare and highly sought-after coin. For example, a double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect on the features of the coin. These errors, when identified and verified, can push a coin's value far beyond its original worth. The 1997 dime, while not known for having a huge number of errors, still has a certain level of appeal due to the potential for minor imperfections that make certain pieces stand out. Coins with such errors can be valuable to collectors, who are always on the lookout for that elusive find that will make their collection even more special. But the true allure of the 1997 dime goes beyond just the design and errors. It's the context of the coin itself that adds to its value. When we think about the history of American coinage, the 1997 dime represents a moment in time when the United States was entering a period of technological innovation, economic expansion, and increased global influence. This small coin might have circulated through the pockets of everyday people, but in the broader context, it symbolizes the turning of the page in American history. Fast forward to today, and you might be wondering just how much the 1997 dime is worth. It's a great question, and the answer is a little more exciting than you might expect. While the majority of 1997 dimes are still worth just 10 cents in circulation, there's one particular 1997 dime that's caused quite a stir in the world of coin collecting. You see, a rare, error-free, uncirculated 1997 dime, or one with unique minting defects, can fetch a price that goes far beyond its original face value. In fact, one such coin, a 1997 dime, was recently sold for an astonishing $88,000. Yes, you read that right. This particular dime, due to its rare condition, scarcity, and collector demand, became a hot commodity in the world of numismatics. So, how did this coin go from a mere 10-cent piece of currency to a prized collectible worth nearly $100,000? It's a combination of factors: its rarity, the condition it was found in, and the intense interest of dedicated collectors who were willing to pay top dollar for a coin that held a special place in history. What's fascinating about this discovery is that it underscores an important lesson for coin collectors. You never really know the full value of a coin until you've had a chance to examine it carefully. Coins that might seem ordinary at first glance could turn out to be hidden treasures, waiting to be uncovered. So, what does this all mean for you, the viewer? The next time you're sifting through your pocket change, or maybe digging through a jar of coins you've been meaning to sort, keep an eye out for that 1997 dime. While the chances of finding a coin worth $88,000 may be slim, the fact that it's possible is enough to make any coin enthusiast or collector excited about the possibilities. As we've seen, even the smallest of coins, when combined with rarity and a little bit of luck, can end up becoming priceless pieces of history in the end. The 1997 dime serves as a reminder of how precious and interesting coins can be, and how, in the world of collecting, sometimes the greatest treasures are found in the most unlikely of places. Whether it's a dime, a penny, or a quarter, each coin carries with it a story, a piece of history, and who knows, a potential windfall. Keep collecting, keep searching, and who knows what you might uncover next. Have you ever found a coin in your pocket or in your change, only to wonder if it could be worth something more than its face value? Well, today we're going to explore a coin that, to many, might seem like just another piece of currency, but one that's hidden a valuable secret. It's the 2014 USA 1-dime coin. Now, you might be thinking, how could a dime, which is only worth 10 cents, possibly be worth anything significant? It's a good question, and one that deserves a deeper dive. To understand why this humble dime holds more than just its face value, we first need to take a look at its history. Let's go back to the year 2014. It was a year marked by various historical events: the rise of social media as a tool for political engagement, the Winter Olympics in Sochi, and even the launch of the first Apple Watch. But for coin collectors and numismatists, 2014 holds significance for another reason: the release of a new set of dimes that would later be regarded as part of a special series. And while this particular dime doesn't seem to carry any obvious distinctions at first glance, its story and value have certainly evolved. To fully appreciate why the 2014 dime is intriguing to collectors, we must look at the broader picture of its design. The dime, also known as the 10-cent coin, has been in circulation in the United States since 1796. It's a coin that has seen multiple redesigns, and its design has always been significant. The design of the dime has evolved over time, influenced by both the politics and aesthetics of the periods in which they were created. The design that most people are familiar with today is the one introduced in 1946, the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image has graced the dime for more than 7 decades, making it one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. But why Roosevelt? After all, he wasn't just any president. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II earned him respect and admiration across the country. When he passed away in 1945, there was a desire to commemorate his legacy, and the dime was the perfect canvas. The image of Roosevelt, alongside the motto "In God We Trust," became a symbol of perseverance and resilience for many Americans. This coin design has remained largely unchanged for over 70 years, which makes the 2014 version of the dime particularly interesting. While its basic design, Roosevelt's profile facing left with "Liberty" inscribed above and "In God We Trust" beside his portrait, remained the same. 2014 was a year when subtle but meaningful changes were made in the minting process. You see, in 2014, the United States Mint continued to strike the dime using the same basic approach they had used since the 1940s, relying on a blend of copper and nickel. The composition of the dime is 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, giving it a distinctive appearance and weight. The coin is about 17.91 millimeters in diameter and weighs 2.268 grams. It's small, but don't let its size fool you. The materials used in its production are what make it so intriguing, especially when it comes to the minting process. But it's not just the materials that are worth noting. It's also the way in which these coins were minted. In 2014, the U.S. Mint continued its practice of creating coins at a number of facilities across the country. While most dimes come from the Philadelphia Mint, some 2014 dimes were also struck at the Denver Mint. The distinguishing marks of these dimes come from small variations in the minting process, making certain coins rarer than others. Now, you may be wondering, how does all of this play into the value of the coin? Well, for collectors, the value of a coin isn't just about what's printed on it. It's about its rarity, condition, and, in some cases, its minting anomalies. You see, even within a seemingly ordinary coin like the 2014 dime, there can be variations in quality and other hidden characteristics that can significantly affect its value. For example, certain 2014 dimes, due to issues in the minting process, may feature what's known as striking errors. These errors occur when the coin's design isn't fully imprinted, or the coin is misaligned. While these mistakes are rare, they can make the coin more valuable, especially to collectors who specialize in error coins. Other factors, such as the coin's grade, which refers to its condition, also play a role in determining its worth. Coin grading is a meticulous process, and it's one of the main factors collectors use to assess the value of a coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A coin with a grade of 65 or higher can fetch a pretty penny, even if it's from a more recent year, like 2014. Now, let's get to the big question. Just how valuable is the 2014 USA 1 dime coin? While a typical 2014 dime may only be worth 10 cents in circulation, certain versions of this coin, particularly those with errors or in pristine condition, have been known to fetch impressive amounts. If you're lucky enough to have a rare 2014 dime in excellent condition, or one with an error that collectors covet, you could potentially sell it for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The most impressive story comes from the world of error coins, where one particular 2014 dime was sold for an astounding $30,000. Yes, you read that right. A single 2014 dime, a coin that was once nothing more than pocket change for most people, can now command a price of $30,000. So what made this dime so special? It was a coin with a rare and nearly perfect condition, coupled with an error that made it stand out from the rest. This particular dime was graded as a near-perfect coin, and it had an imperfection in its strike that made it a highly sought-after collector's item. The error coin was an anomaly, and the demand for it was so high that it reached a price that most people could never have imagined for a dime. It's the kind of story that makes numismatics, the study of coins, so exciting for collectors. But of course, not every 2014 dime is going to be worth $30,000. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare error coins in your possession, it's essential to have it professionally graded. Experts in coin grading can help determine whether your coin holds any additional value. And even if your 2014 dime is just a regular, unblemished one, don't count it out just yet. With the right collector, even a standard 2014 dime can be sold for more than face value, especially if it's in excellent condition. In conclusion, the 2014 USA 1 dime coin is an example of how something as simple as pocket change can have hidden value. Whether it's due to a rare minting error, its impeccable condition, or the fact that it's a part of a historic series, This dime is worth more than just its 10-cent face value. So, the next time you find a dime in your change, it might just be worth taking a closer look. You never know, it could be your ticket to a windfall. And now, the big reveal. The 2014 USA 1-dime coin, in certain rare conditions, can be worth as much as $30,000. Who would have thought a dime could be so valuable, right? So remember, always keep an eye out for those rare coins. What seems ordinary today could be a valuable treasure tomorrow. Top 5. Have you ever reached into your pocket and pulled out a coin, one that looked like just another piece of change, only to wonder if it could be worth something more? Well, imagine holding a simple dime, one from 2018, a year that might seem far too recent to harbor any hidden treasures. What if I told you that this very coin, which on the surface appears to be nothing special, could actually be worth thousands of dollars today? Intrigued? Stick with me, because we're about to uncover the fascinating journey of the 2018 USA 1-dime coin and its impressive value. Before we dive into the incredible story of this coin, let's first take a step back in time to understand the legacy of the dime and why it has such a significant place in American currency. The dime is one of the oldest coins in the United States, first issued in 1796. It has undergone numerous design changes over the years, but throughout its history, the dime has always represented the symbol of tenacity and resilience. The dime, in fact, is more than just a simple coin. It's a representation of the perseverance of a nation that's gone through wars, economic crises, and political upheaval. In fact, if you think about it, the dime is the backbone of daily commerce. Whether you're buying a cup of coffee, making small change for a parking meter, or handing one over as part of a transaction, this coin is omnipresent in our daily lives. But behind that seemingly unassuming face lies a coin with a story that is deeper, richer, and more valuable than you might think, especially when it comes to the 2018 version. Now, when we look at the 2018 dime at first glance, it doesn't seem to stand out among other years. You might notice the same familiar features: Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait, the word liberty emblazoned across the top, and the motto "In God We Trust" on the right side of the coin. Below Roosevelt's portrait, the year 2018 appears, along with the mint mark. It's the same design that has been in use since 1946, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt's likeness first graced the coin after his passing. The decision to honor Roosevelt with his image on the dime was not a random one. Roosevelt's leadership through the Great Depression and World War II made him one of the most admired and respected U.S. presidents. The choice to memorialize him on the coin was a way to pay tribute to his dedication and his legacy. For decades, the Roosevelt dime has stood as a symbol of strength, perseverance, and hope. So, while the 2018 version of the coin may seem relatively mundane at first glance, there's far more to it when we start digging deeper into its history, its minting process, and the way it's been received by collectors. 2018 was a year that saw continued stability in the minting process for the dime. The U.S. Mint continued to strike the coin using the same copper-nickel composition that had been in place for decades: 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. The blend gives the coin its distinctive metallic appearance, making it recognizable among a sea of other coins. The dime, measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter and weighing 2.268 grams, is small and light, making it easy to overlook. But it's precisely this unassuming size that makes it so interesting to collectors. Most of the dimes produced in 2018 came from the Philadelphia Mint, but coins from the Denver Mint and the West Point Mint also contributed to the production that year. The coins produced at each of these mints carry different mint marks: a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, and a W for West Point. The mint mark, a tiny letter usually found on the reverse side of the coin, might seem insignificant, but it plays an important role in determining the rarity of a coin. Now, you might be asking, why would anyone be interested in a coin from 2018? After all, it's a relatively recent coin, and surely it hasn't had enough time to accumulate the kind of value that would make it worth anything extraordinary. That's where things start to get interesting. The 2018 dime coin is noteworthy for a few reasons. First, it represents the continuation of a long-standing tradition. The design of the dime has not changed since 1946, which means that each new batch of dimes from 2018 to today serves as a continuation of the history and legacy of Roosevelt. It's a constant reminder of the values that Roosevelt himself embodied, as well as the era in which the coin was first introduced. But more importantly, while many 2018 dimes are still in circulation and are being used for everyday transactions, there's an undercurrent of collectors who are eager to get their hands on rare and specific examples of this coin. For one thing, certain dimes from 2018 carry valuable minting errors, small defects or inconsistencies that make a coin unique. While these errors are relatively rare, they can significantly increase the coin's value. These types of coins, known as error coins, are often sought after by collectors who specialize in such anomalies. So, what types of errors might you find in the 2018 dime? A common error found in many coins is the misalignment of the design. Sometimes, when the coin is struck, the design doesn't line up perfectly with the coin's edge, leaving it off-center. This misalignment can make the coin more valuable because it's a rare flaw. Another potential error could be the double die effect, where the design is imprinted twice, slightly offset. This can cause certain features, such as Roosevelt's face or the text around the coin, to appear doubled. These types of errors are highly coveted by collectors because they are relatively rare, and they make the coin stand out from others. Another factor that influences the value of the 2018 dime is its condition. Like all coins, the value of the 2018 dime can be dramatically affected by its grade, which refers to its physical condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A coin that is in mint state, with no visible wear or damage, is far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. In fact, a 2018 dime in perfect condition, graded at 70, could fetch a pretty hefty price in the market. It's the coins in the best condition, those with crisp details and no visible scratches or damage, that are in highest demand among collectors. But let's get to the most exciting part of our story, the value of the 2018 USA 1 dime coin. You're probably wondering, how much could a dime from 2018 possibly be worth? The truth is, most 2018 dimes are still worth their face value of 10 cents. However, when it comes to specific examples, especially those with minting errors or those in pristine condition, the value can skyrocket. In fact, one particular 2018 dime has sold for an astounding $25,000. That's right, $25,000 for a single dime. This coin was an error coin, with a significant flaw that made it particularly sought after by collectors. It was graded as being in nearly perfect condition, and the combination of its rarity and the error it carried made it worth far more than any dime you'll find in your pocket. This exceptional coin, with its unique characteristics, sold for a price that no one could have predicted when it was first minted. This might seem hard to believe, but it's a testament to the world of coin collecting and how certain errors or conditions can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. While not every 2018 dime will reach such dizzying heights in value, it's clear that this year's issue holds potential for collectors, especially if you happen to stumble upon one with an error or in excellent condition. So, the next time you come across a 2018 dime, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know, that dime might be worth far more than 10 cents. In the world of coin collecting, even the most seemingly insignificant coins can turn out to be hidden treasures. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the 2018 USA 1 dime coin. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin-related content, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on any future updates. Who knows? Your next dime might just be worth a lot more than you think. Stay curious and keep collecting.